Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today is a difficult video to make for me personally. I don't even know where to start. Oh god. The past few years have been tough. In the sewing school, since COVID, things have been really difficult. When we first got all let out and were allowed back into civilization, it was very split. We had half of our regular customers who were like so desperate to come back and they couldn't wait, and the other half were, understandably terrified to go anywhere because we'd all been locked away for so long. And things did pick up and we were like slowly getting there. And then the second wave of COVID hit and it was like this constant back and forth of now we're allowed to open, now we're closing, now we're allowed to open, now we're closing. And essentially, if I'm really truthful, we haven't really recovered since then. And I was sort of just like going through the motions, thinking that, things will get better. Retail is so up and down anyway. I was thinking eventually we'll get back to where we were. And I'm afraid to say that we just haven't. Throw into the mix me getting pregnant. Not that there's ever going to be a perfect time to have a baby. And everyone told me that. But the timing of me getting pregnant and having my beautiful baby boy wasn't the best. And I totally understand that when it's your own business, I, was working way too many hours, totally unsustainable. And so now looking back, maybe I should have slowly, transitioned a little bit better. And I am so grateful for my staff for just going with the flow and like working so hard while I was away. But essentially, even our freelance tutors, they've been incredible, but most of the workshops we've had to cancel over the past 2 years because we're just not getting the numbers and we can't afford to put them on. You can probably guess where this is going. And I'm not going to cry because I've cried so much for the last few months. My staff have been incredibly understanding. And Mum and my mum-in-law, they work with me too. So it's like a real family loss that like we're all going through this together. And we all sort of saw it coming. It wasn't a surprise to any of us. But I essentially had to make that final decision. And it was one of the hardest things I've ever had to actually say out loud. And I did for weeks and weeks and weeks. I was like trying to work up the courage to actually call for a staff meeting and talk about it. But I am closing the physical sewing school premises. If you've been a follower of my YouTube channel for years, you would have seen me from the start building up this business and how it was a real dream come true. And I am still so proud of... Oh, I'm going to get upset again. I am still so proud of how much we actually have done the past 5 years. And we've been, 5 years is a decent chunk of time. Like, it's not as long as I wanted to be there, but it is still a decent chunk of time that we've managed this. It's just sad. I don't know what else to say. It's just sad. I'm very sad about the whole thing. I feel that we built up such a good community at Jessalli, and seeing regular friendly faces every week, it did improve my life. Like, I went from working from home, always on my own, chatting to the internet, to being surrounded by people all day. It was a lot to start with. But I loved it. Like, I loved the buzz of every day just being so wild. And I've sort of just like, I think the reason why I'm most sad is that I've literally put my life into that sewing school. You know, I tried to stay on YouTube. It didn't happen. I like slowly fizzled out videos, and I was bringing out one like every few months, and then suddenly I had to like give it all up because I just had no time. I was working so many hours in that sewing school because I loved it, but because I needed to be there. There was so many classes I wanted to put on. There were so many people that wanted to learn different things. I was doing private tuition, you know, different workshops. We had daily clubs every day, sometimes twice a day, getting people in, social sewing. I just loved it. I loved everything about it, and it was everything that I wanted it to be. But we're just not getting the numbers now, and we're not getting enough people in, and I totally understand why. You know, our regular customers over the years have sort of like drifted away to other things. And there's lots of reasons why. One massive one in the last year, 2 years, is that the cost of living has gone up so much. Like, people cannot afford luxuries, and what our sewing school is a luxury. Yes, it's serving a community, and there's so many benefits to everything, which I would always push, but essentially it is a luxury. And if you have to choose your heating or your food, or do you know what I mean, over sewing, of course you're going to, like. And another thing we noticed is, since COVID, a lot of people bought a lot of craft stuff to do at home and never got round to it, and now they've got so much stuff at home that they've already bought that they're sort of like going through their stash, making things with what they've got. So people aren't spending even in the shop as much as they were. And I mean, stuff in the shop, we've had to put prices up because the costs have gone up to us. So it's like this, it's been a snowball of like lots and lots of different things. And then the snowball started getting bigger and bigger and moving faster and faster. And I was there with a newborn, first time mum, like learning how to manage on 3 hours sleep a day. And I was having to make all these big decisions, like financially. You know, it was a lot, and it was a lot of stress for me, and it's been a lot of stress. And actually, since I made that difficult decision to have the staff meeting and say, you know, what my plan was, I have actually felt like a sense of calm, like I've got a plan, I know what I'm doing now, and it was kind of a relief, which to me was the sign that I am making the right decision for me and my family. So, here is the plan. Step 1 is we're having a 50% off sale. So, starting from Monday the 10th of July, 2023, just in case you're watching this in a different year, we are going to have a 50% off basically all our stock apart from sewing machines in the shop. We're not doing it online, mainly because it's a lot of logistics for the staff to manage all the stock in the shop at 50% off and all the stuff online at 50% off, because if stuff sells really quickly on the shop, it's really hard to find the time to then quickly update it online. So, and they're not connected because I wasn't that clever. Essentially, we're sort of hiding a lot of the stock online and then waiting until the shop sale, sort of like see how the stock moves, and then we'll start putting stuff online for you to buy at 50% off as well if there's stuff left over. We don't know how popular things are going to be, but you never know. Our last day of opening to the public will be Saturday the 29th of July 2023. We will be open that Saturday 10 a.m. till 4 p.m, our usual Saturday hours. We have got a workshop on in the morning, which may or may not happen depending on numbers. But that will be our last day. I would love to say that I'm going to be there all day. I'm not. I will probably pop in very quickly. It depends what, you know, my son's needing and doing, and if he's had good naps and, you know, all of that. So I am hoping to be there for as long as I can. So if anyone wanted to pop their heads in, then by all means do. But yes, I would really appreciate it if you are local and you want to visit the premises to come and just, you know, come and say bye to the staff and buy some things that you need at a good price. So that's the sort of the closing down procedure that we're doing. If you have a voucher with us, then please come in and spend it before the end of July. You can still have sewing lessons. You can spend them on clubs, but it doesn't have to be stock in the shop. But obviously, we're not doing discounts on lessons and clubs and all of that. It's only on the stock. All our clubs and classes are going to carry on as normal until then. So please still come to your social groups with your friends, and come to your regular things that you do, because we're still putting them on, so don't worry about that. But everything will stop at the end of July, and then after that, if there's any furniture left over, I'm basically going to say to customers that they can reserve items of furniture if they want them, because we've got some nice cutting tables, we've got some nice sewing tables. So we will organise the collection of those after the end of July, so we can sort of arrange a good time and date with you if you wanted something, and then you can come to the shop and collect it then. Just so we're not having to get rid of furniture as we're getting rid of stock. It's going to be an absolute nightmare. Business wise, I am not stopping So Jessalli. It is my business, it's my love, it's my first baby. Am I allowed to say that now? I hope so. And I am going back to what I love. I'm going back to online content, filming more tutorials for you. I spoke about doing the Patreon pages and bringing out more exclusive content for you at different stages that you're at, whether you're beginner, intermediate, advanced. I want to do more free motion. I miss free motion. I never had time to do any free motion work. I would teach it occasionally, but there's so many things that I gave up to do the sewing school that now I can come back to, which to me is the way I'm sort of finding the positives in all of this. So there's going to be a lot more online content from me. Some of my staff members are going to continue as freelancers for me, helping me with some PDF patterns and stuff that we've been working on. They're still going to test and check all my spellings and my explanations of everything, so that's still fun, and we still get to do some work together. There's just a lot of good things to look forward to, but from a more manageable side for me and my family, and without the massive financial risk and stress that we've been put under for the last few years. So this has been the right decision for us, but it's still a sad one. It's just, I keep saying it, but it's just sad. Right. So if there are any questions that you have, please comment below. I've written a blog post about everything with all the dates and whatever on there, so I'll link that as well, so that if you are local, you've got some dates in mind. And yes, I will be back again next week with another YouTube video. I am working hard to plan more content around being a mum. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have been a part of this journey, or you are a customer of the shop, or you've come for a workshop before, or you've had a lesson with me, however you've supported, I just want to take this moment to say thank you, because without you guys, I would have never been able to do it to start with. And So Jessalli became so much more than what I was planning on this little sewing school. It became a massive community hub where, all I wanted to do was bring people together, and you all came together, and so many of you have made wonderful friends at our clubs and classes, and that's what gave me purpose. So thank you so much for letting me live this massive dream of mine. And I hope that you still enjoy what we're going to do next. But yeah, thank you so much. And also, I keep saying thank you to my staff and texting them all the time, but thank you as well if you are watching, because I love you all so much, and we are, even if you're not actually part of our family, you are part of our family, because this has been such a family-run business. And I am going to miss working with you all every day. Oh, don't get upset again, so. Okay. I made it. I got to the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Comment below with any questions. Give this video a thumbs up. Do you give this video a thumbs up? I don't know. I won't be offended if you don't give it a thumbs up, but it does help the content, like pushing of my videos, so give it a thumbs up. And I will see you next week for a hopefully happier video. Thank you so much, and happy handmade, everyone. Mwah.